The Dissertation series, Literature Reviews. My name is Steph Bennett. I'm a Learning Development Tutor in the Hub. Today's aims: to develop an understanding of what a lit review is and how to piece it together. We'll do that by looking at what a lit review is, the structure of a lit review, locating literature, and other things along those lines. This is a short and snappy video for levels 6 and 7. What's a lit review? Well, it's a critical review of the resources you're exploring about your topic. And what do you need to do? Well, I highly recommend starting by downloading LibKey Nomad. This is a license that gives you free access to journal articles behind paywalls. Let's have a look at where to download that now and what it might look like. Here is the library's libguides. Type LibKey Nomad in here. Head to Online Resources. Scroll and click here for installation instructions. Once installed, a green teardrop will pop up in the bottom left-hand corner of the journal article. Click on it. In here you have your resource. Locate books and journals via WorldCat. Let's look at how to do that now on advanced search. Here is the opening page of WorldCat. Click on Advanced Search. Here is the Advanced Search page. Type in your Boolean search terms into the boxes. You can see here I have generative artificial intelligence, higher education or university, because they are kind of one in the same, and assessment. You can also see I've clicked peer reviewed. Let's scroll down. And here are the results that have been returned. Boolean search via Google Scholar. This is an example Boolean search. Let's have a look at what that looks like now. Again, I've used generative artificial intelligence, higher education or university, and assessments. And here are the results I have returned. Let's narrow them down slightly by making them more current. And here we go, results from 2020 to 2025. Then you need to read your sources, the books that you have returned, the journals that you have returned. And you need to begin documenting your findings from these sources. Now let's look at the structure, the introduction, the main body and the conclusion. The introduction. Begin by stating the focus of the lit review. Follow up by stating the purpose of the lit review. This might look like: recent research has increasingly addressed the problem of, despite the substantial attention given to X, Y has received comparatively little consideration. Then you can add brief contextual information to lay the foundations of the topic for the reader and align with your purpose, just above. Then you can end this with a map. Accordingly, this review will begin by discussing, subsequently it will explore, and that helps to signpost the reader through the lit review. The main body of the lit review. Present the findings from your reading using peel paragraphs. Focus on one idea at a time. Support with evidence from literature, that might be case studies or theories or data or stats. Synthesize literature. Bring together multiple authors to really bolster the points you're trying to make. And here is an example. In APA, it goes in alphabetical order. BTZ, you can see here. Critically analyse what you've read and interpret these findings. What do they suggest? Why are they significant? How might they be interpreted? Evaluate the strengths and limitations of the literature. Be really, really critical. Highlight gaps in literature where something isn't being discussed or explored or talked about or researched. Why is that? Don't overlook it. Mention it. and ensure your peels sit in a logical order, that they tell the narrative logically from start to finish. And here is an example. This is a nuts and bolts example because it's not quite finished, but it gives you a taste of what a peel paragraph might look like. We open with a clear point. The majority of studies indicate the importance of considering user perspectives for this intervention. Then we follow that up with evidence from 5 studies, Smith, Timmins and Wright and Maples to begin with, and then 2 case studies by Green and Harrisburg to further bolster that idea. We flip to the nuts and bolts sentence starters for explanations. This suggests that, this may be interpreted as, this is significant because, and finally a link to wrap it all up at the end. Consequently, it is recommended that user perspectives should be taken into account when implementing this intervention. And here is another peel example. This is quite an interesting peel. It's offering an alternative viewpoint. It uses 2 studies, 10 years apart, that are saying the exact same thing, which critically might indicate that there's been no change in the way we practice. You can also see in the critical aspect, it's saying that how teachers may practice in a setting is kind of different to the theories and ideas presented in the literature. So as a reader, as somebody writing a lit review, you need to question why that is. And you can see that's been done really well here. Pause the video and have a read. Now let's look at this peel paragraph. This features quite an old study, but then it critiques the fact it is a dated study. It also critiques the generalisability of the data collected because it came from a single school. It also positively notes the validity of the study because the researcher used qualitative research methods. It offers 2 better sources because they're newer, but again, it critiques them for low generalisability and applicability. And really cleverly at the end, it brings together all 3 studies and notes their corresponding factor, which is that all of these authors agree play positively impacts well-being. So pause the video and have a read of this. Conclusions. Revisit what the Lit Review set out to do and why. Summarise your key findings. Don't forget to reiterate their significance, and that is in relation to your research question. Remember, that is your golden thread, start to finish, throughout your Lit Review. Everything should feed into that research question. And finally, state how your study will now contribute to the existing body of literature. Are you going to be addressing an existing gap? Are you going to offer a present-day perspective? Maybe you're going to do both. And finally, some tips for moving forward. You are very welcome to book a one-to-one with Learning Development. We have the Learning Development Blackboard, and specifically we have a set of dissertation guides and an entire section dedicated to lit reviews that is significantly more detailed than this video here. Scribr has a fantastic set of dissertation guides and a really great one on lit reviews. GradCoach equally has a great set of dissertation guides. I feel GradCoach's guides are more suitable for level 7 upwards. And finally, the Academic Integrity Guide. You will need this if you are going to be citing and referencing using APA.